How's it going, shipheads? You joined me right in the thick of it here. Got this little baby Grissom when I was at Wonderfest. It was a cheap deal. Threw it together in my hotel room just for fun. Just for something to play with. And then I joined in on the HTM live stream the other day, and just for something to play with, I got this out and I started drilling windows in the top and bottom of the saucer. And we're gonna light this little 1000 scale little tiny Grissom. I went ahead and drilled a big hole here through the front, a la Excelsior. A little bit of crud there. So what we're gonna do is get a piece of this tube here. So I'm thinking if I can get a piece of that cut the right way to get in there, then I can use this little tiny dome that I was going to use on the Miranda Hornet Impulse Crystal, but I decided not to use. I can use that this way around as a deflector dish for inside there. So let's roll that beautiful starship footage, and we'll make an effort anyways. We'll try to light up this little Grissom. Alrighty, here we go. We got at the bottom of our little sensor pod for this. So I'm going to take a piece of this tube here. I've already used it for other things. I'll put my cutter on. I just got a little diamond wheel here. Throw that on. And I want to try to, oh, that's not the one. So I want to try to kind of match this profile here a little bit. This piece is almost there, but it's not quite angled enough. So it's really loud, and there's going to be metal bits flying everywhere. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to cut this down, try and fit it in there. Be right back. Alright, so I took that away from the desk here to cut it, just to avoid junk everywhere. So here's what I have. That part got a little deformed from squeezing it with the pliers, I guess, to hold on to it. It was starting to get a little hot as I was cutting it, so I had to hold on to it with some little needle nose pliers. So let me see if I can get this oriented the right way. Right like that. Looks like I might have to make it a little pointier. Unless I can get some putty in there. Unless I let it protrude out the front a little. Oh, that's actually not bad. Okay, that's not bad. So if I let it protrude out the front just a little bit, then I can probably just grind off the rest and grind that down flush. Too bad it's not more even. because I would let it, this side's not bad, I would let it stick out like that and have that little metal lip showing. It's not quite even enough. It's not like Steven. There's some schmoo in there. Let's just get rid of that. It's like, what is that, glue, or does this have some kind of plastic coating inside? I think it's just glue. Just get rid of that. Get that out of there. Alright, so if I scuff this part up, I should be able to just glue it in there fairly easily. Fret leveling beam. Oh, it's a pretty resilient finish on that there. Let's see if I just kind of, that's not bad right there. The tip lines up, the end right there. What happens if I let go? Okay, it stays in place. Alright, so it kind of just wicks up in there. Just gonna put a little pressure on it. I'll add a drop at the tip of it here. Give that a little shot. Where's my scooper? Scooper. Just use that. There, a little cement to lock it in place. There too. Okay, it's pretty solid. Pretty solid. Okay, get this off. Let's get a grinding stone here. Alright, so just a little 3-in-1 oil here. Let's put a drop of that on there. So what that does is just helps grind it a little bit. Well, it doesn't help grind it, but it helps keep the little metal particles from flying around too much. I'm just gonna grind out the excess edge of the metal lip there and get that all nice and smooth. So we're gonna go from this okay, it's not as messy as I thought it was, so let's just take a look at what's going on here. So I'm just trying to carve this out and even out the little lip here. did. Got just a little bit of curl over there. Just hit it with a bit of file. Okay, that actually came out pretty decent. All right, to this. See, I had this thing planned where it was gonna do like a flashy thing and go from this to this, but I decided to show you some of the grinding process, so I robbed myself of that little joy. But there we go, we got this in place. That's not too bagly. There's my little grabbies. Come here, grabbies. Gotcha. Okay, so we got this this is one of the pieces from my Reliant kit, but it's not from the Reliant. It's the crystal dome cover for the Refit Enterprise, because as I mentioned in my other videos, my Reliant kit had the wrong clear sprue in it. So that's the little impulse crystal from the Refit Enterprise 1000 scale. I'm gonna take it, put it in here, sort of like we did with the Excelsior. Fits right in there, except for the fact that I put it upside down. Let's just do this. And let's just do this. Let's do this again. It's lower this time. There we go. And it'll look something like this. There we go. Looks a bit like the Excelsior. Focus. Focus. There we go. Be more like a Ford. And focus. There. Alright, so I'm just gonna sand around inside there a little bit, clean that up, and I will BRB. Okay, I got the inside of that cleaned up nicely. So what I gotta do now is figure out how I'm gonna get this to sit in there without falling out. Okay, so this is gonna be painted and primed, light blocked. So the thickness of that might help me squeeze that in there a little bit, and I can also add a little layer of glue. Tape might be too thick, but maybe just a thin layer of clear glue around the edge there, and that'll be enough to fit it into place. And this part doesn't really need to be light blocked, but the thing about this is our impulse engine is right there. And let me see, I got some reference photos here. It's not very big, so it looks like it's pretty much one little light in there. Put this injection point or whatever, connection point, in a awkward spot. There we go, that's gone. Okay, so I want that to be lit red. am I gonna do that? How am I gonna do that? Okay, so I could trench a wire right maybe through here, or maybe around this. That might be better. Go around this, right up against this thing here, and it'd be easier to yeah. Okay, so what do I need? Let's get one of these. Hopefully that's not too large. I think that'll be fine. Yeah, okay, so it's just that little thin strip right under there. Kind of see through the side a little bit. Probably would help me do that if this one wasn't on. Oh yeah, even better. So I'm just kind of drilling into the side there. I don't know if my camera's going to pick it up. But you can see where my bit's going to. So I'm just trying to hollow out this little section here so I can maybe get a couple SMDs in there. Even just one. Pass. I can actually see the light coming through. So for the first pass, I didn't cut up into the back of the hull there. Just wanted to see what I'd be able to get. Looks like I got in there pretty good. I got a fairly nice hole. Just gonna take a little more away. Okay, that's not bad. I got a nice little cavity there. So I'm going to try to get something in there to light that. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that yet. I do have some tiny little SMDs. I just got to find them. Okay, got some lights here. The thing about these is they're so bright. But it's so small, so it's possible if I could get it in right there, and then I could trench the wires up around either side. I could probably hide that pretty good, and then just have it coming out into the primary hull here. Let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. Alright, so I'm going to use my old blade for this. This is the one I've had for over 20 years. I keep sharpening it. It's really strong and sturdy. The tip never breaks off. And yeah, it's my favorite. So what I want to do is put it right up against. You can't even see that. How are you supposed to see that? I need to lift that up a little bit. Where's my guitar block? I can't find anything since I rearranged to accommodate for the computer that HTM sent me. Bunch of jerks. Thanks, jerks. Okay. Oh, it's way over there. Way over here. It's on the table. Way over here on the table. Alright, boom. Just like that. Music Nomad. Starship block. So that's a little closer. Okay, so I'm going to use the heel of it right up against the edge. I'm just going to roll it over through this little lip right here. Same thing on this side. Okay, so now I've got just a little bit of a score line. Okay, I'm at the end of here, so do I want to turn around the corner and run it right down, or do I want to go straight off this? But then, yeah, I won't end up in the right place, so I'm gonna try to go around this corner. So the fact that this is curved is an advantage for me because I can kind of roll it into where I want to cut just a little bit without going all the way. Okay. So there. So now I'll take my chisel one because it's straight. I'm gonna find the center. It happens to be just about the right size. Okay, so I'm just gonna center that right down the center. So I picked up this little Grissom model at U.S.S. It was only 15 bucks. It's got the Klingon bird of prey in there. I just wanted something fun to work on, and I wanted to do a Grissom because the HTM guys are gonna do a group build of the Grissom upcoming, and I thought maybe even with just this little one I might be able to participate with that. But being a lucky guy that I am and having the wonderful wife that I have, she secretly got me the 350 scale Grissom, so I will be able to actually participate in the full HTM group build of the Grissom when it does happen. Wonderfest was a blast, man. It was so fun. I got to meet all my new buddies there, everyone from HTM except for one. It's only one person I didn't get to meet, which was Ken. I really wanted to meet him in person, but maybe next year, and who knows, maybe I can take a trip out to Ken's place one of these days. Come and visit him. I know Mary would enjoy that very much too. So I want to get a groove down here, as I said. So I've got a little line scored. I'm going to get my little bit here. And I'm just going to try to use it as an end mill and get a spot for my wires. That this way. Alright, here we go. Fast forward this. I will fast forward this. You don't. So these wires are minute, so I don't really have to go very deep at all. Plus this isn't too thick, so I don't want to go through. It's only a couple millimeters thick. Okay, so I got a nice little trench up the center there around that panel. Should be able to disguise it fairly well. So now I gotta get, might not be able to get that far with this drill bit. Go as far as I can. Not quite. So I'll try this. long enough should be able to. Oh, I hope it's not too thick for this hole. It is just a little too thick. I don't want to deform the edge of the hole there. Got some smaller ones here. Alright, so I'm just gonna go in on this shallow angle here. Try to link up with the hole that I made at the back. Okay, let's see if I was able to do it. Hopefully get it to poke out the top there. Might have to try to clear the hole. Oh. Okay. So, boom, that's in there. Alright, and it goes right through it. So I could have just easily went through the top, of course. There it is. Check it out. Okay, so got the impulse engine. So what I'm going to probably do is similar to what I did for the windows. I'm going to do some windows. I use a little bit of this right here. This Elmer's glue here. I'll take a little bit of that and I'll put a drop of orange paint into it, and then I'll just fill the little hole there. This is my connection. There we go. So I'll just fill that in with the orange glue, and it'll be orange. We need some light block in there, but yeah, we got the impulse in. All right. And then it's just a matter of directing those wires around my little trench there. A little extra schmoo there. I don't want it in my hole. You don't want schmoo in the hole. Schmoo's in the hole. Oh. The schmoo is good. It gets all in your hole. No, goo in this case, just little particles of plastic from grinding out that. Okay, so I'm going to need to glue that in there, but you get the idea, don't ya? There it goes, right in there. Getting the groove. Boy, you got to prove what you can do. There. So it's going to go in like that. It's plenty deep enough. Bada bing, bada boom. Check it out. Flip the script. Alright, we're going to do the glue schmoo thing. Okay, there we go. I got them inlaid in there. I should be able to smooth that down and fill that in and hide that pretty well. Let's see what we can do. I'll use my chisel blade here just to scrape a little bit of that excess glue off the surface. So I want to try to avoid using a piece of sandpaper if I can, because I don't want to ruin the edges of this tiny detail here. It wouldn't take much to sort of sand that right off. Got the garbage truck outside picking up the bins. Funny time of day for them to be doing that, because they usually do it at 7 a.m. Maybe enough people in the building complained about it. Okay, I don't want to clip my wire. That would be a disaster. So I just want to be very careful. That's why I'm using this chisel one, because it's flat and wide, and it'll sort of skate the surface instead of digging down in there. A little bit right there still. Okay, there we go. Let's get some of that where's my Vallejo crapola? Find that. I'll get some of that up in there. Oh, time to go. I'll be back.